Hi guys, moving to the economics portion of General Studies for Civil Services main examination. We have to know many of the things in economics also. So we will move to the economics portion. What is it? Foreign institutional investors, FIIs. What is FII? First we have to know. A foreign institutional investor is an investor or an investment fund registered in a country outside of the one in which it is investing. Say for example, I am an Indian, I want to invest in US markets. Then my investment in US stock market will be FII. And Americans' investment in Indian stock market will be FII for India. Then institutional investments include hedge funds, insurance companies, pension funds, mutual funds. FII need to be registered in stock exchange to make investments. If any American investor want to invest in Indian stock exchange, they have to be registered in Indian Stock Exchange, that is NSE and Bombay Stock Exchange. Then moving to the next question. Next question is Foreign Investment Promotion Board of India. What is Foreign Investment Promotion Board? Foreign Investment Promotion Board of India was the national agency of Government of India to consider and recommend the foreign direct investment which doesn't come under automatic route. It is the nodal agency to recommend foreign direct investment which doesn't come through automatic route. Then FIPB was housed in Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance. It was housed in Department of Economic Affairs in Ministry of Finance. FIPB was abolished on 24 May 2017 as announced by late Finance Minister Arun Jaitley in 2017-18 budget. Now moving to the next question. Next question is trade deficit of India. Trade deficit is if our net import exceeds our net export, then it is called as trade deficit. It is called as trade deficit. For example, India's trade deficit with China is estimated around $52 billion in 2019 and 20 financial year. Trade surplus is preferable to trade deficit in a given country. We will generally want to export more of our items and import less. If we will export more, then we will be called as trade surplus nation. If we will import more, then we will called as trade deficit nation. Ministry of Commerce and Industry keeps a watch on trade deficit of India. Which is the ministry? If the question asked in any of the prelims, it is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And now moving to the next question. Friends, moving to the next question. The next question is convertibility of Indian rupee. What is the convertibility of Indian rupee means? Convertibility of Indian currency means India's currency becomes convertible in foreign exchange and vice versa in the market. When we deal with other countries in trade, we exchange our currency with their currency and they exchange their currency with our currency in order to trade our items. Then it is called as convertibility. Convertibility of Indian rupee is regulated by Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. It is very important. Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999 regulates convertibility of Indian rupee. Foreign exchange earned or received could be converted and utilized only through according to priorities set by government through RBI. Means whatever priorities set by the government, RBI is the nodal authority and the dealers by the RBI, they deal with foreign exchange reserve. Then coming to the next question is India's borrowing from the IMF. India's borrowing from IMF are not included under multilateral debt and are instead classified separately under IMF. India's debts are not classified, means dealt separately in IMF. In 1993, India borrowed SDR $2.2 billion under two standby arrangements. And in 1991 also, India borrowed SDR of $1.4 billion compensatory financing facility. Under compensatory financing facility, India borrowed from IMF on two occasions, one in 1991 and in second one in 1993. In 1991, it was $1.4 billion under compensatory financing facility. Under 1993, under two other arrangements, around $2.2 billion. Then coming to the next question, World Bank aid to India. As a civil servant, you need to be very thorough that certain projects are India with aid of World Bank. India is carrying out in rural India. So you have to be very thorough. What are the aids provided by World Bank? India is the largest World Bank World Bank client. You know World Bank, it is known as IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Many of the people do not know what is IBRD. IBRD is the same World Bank. Between 2015 to 2018, World Bank gave lend around $10.2 billion to India. From 2015 to 2018, India was lent by World Bank around $10.2 billion for various developmental projects. Then in 2018, World Bank gave $18.1 billion for 52 projects in India. Around 52 projects are financed by World Bank in India. World Bank is helping those nations to come from low income country to middle income country, and same way World Bank supports India's transition to a middle income country. Means it is helping to improve our economic condition and we will move into the middle income country. Now moving to the next question. The next question is WTO and Indian agriculture. As you people might be aware that WTO as a body is generally made for making the trade more globalized and more equitable and justified for the all countries. So what is WTO's agreement on agriculture contains provisions in three broad areas. One is market access for Indian products. Whatever Indian agricultural products are having, they can sell it to other country, and WTO is having provision in it. Domestic support by Indian government to farmers. Whenever there is a crisis in Indian agriculture, Government of India gives some kind of a domestic support to the farmers, and that also covers in the WTO. Export subsidies to make our agricultural items competitive in other markets. In other markets, our items needs to be very competitive. That is the reason why Government of India, what it does, it lowers the export, you can say the export related tax, custom duty, this thing. Trade distorting subsidies are defined by WTO that affect trade adversely. There are certain subsidies which distort the trade, that is strictly dealt by WTO. Agriculture subsidies whose main intention is to providing food security and livelihood security to poor consumers and farmers. And this is the how Indian agriculture is being in WTO's radar all the time. And you will be knowing that our current finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman, when she was the commerce and industry minister, she defended India's position vehemently in WTO negotiation and brought the negotiation in favor of India. That was a phenomenal victory by India at WTO by safeguarding Indian farmers' interest in WTO negotiation. Then coming to next question, non-performing assets of commercial banks in India. You have to know what are the non-performing assets. Money or assets provided by commercial banks to borrower as a loan sometimes remain unpaid by borrower and comes as non-performing asset. They are also called as bad assets and monitored by RBI. RBI always monitors the non-performing asset by commercial banks operating in India. Then, if more than 90 days either interest or installed amount is overdue, that loan can be termed as NPA. What is the precise definition? The definition is if a particular individual who has taken the loan from a commercial bank is not paying either interest or the installment, then that particular loan being considered as an NPA. As per the data provided by RBI, NPA in public sector banks in India is around 4 lakh crore. 4 lakh crore. That is a huge amount. It amounts to around 90% of all entire NPA of commercial banks in India, and the private sector banks are having the next 10% of NPAs in India. Then coming to the next question is supervisory function of RBI. It is very, very important. You are supposed to be knowing this. RBI's supervisory function includes improvement in the methods of operation in banking in India. It controls and administers the entire financial banking system of India. It always controls and administers the entire financial and banking system of India. Granting license to bank is one of the supervisory rules. Then bank inspection is another supervisory rule. Then control over non-banking financial institution. Control over non-banking financial institution, NBFI. Then implementation of deposit insurance scheme. Implementation of deposit insurance scheme is also a supervisory role by RBI. All the above supervisory role by the RBI through Banking Regulation Act 1949. There was a Banking Regulation Act 1949 which was passed by Indian Parliament, and in basing on this particular bill, the RBI has got the supervisory role of all the banks in India. Now moving to the last question. Finally coming to the last question of the day is monetary targeting by RBI. What is monetary targeting by RBI? It was Sukhomoy Chakravarti committee set up in 1985 by RBI recommended a monetary targeting framework to target an acceptable order in inflation in line with the desired output growth. It was Sukhomoy Chakravarti committee in 1985 recommended that there should be a monetary targeting framework which will help in targeting the inflation and as well as the growth of the economy. And under the approach, a monetary projection is made consistent with the expected real GDP growth and a tolerable level of inflation. Under monetary targeting, what is being done? What is the real GDP growth as well as what is the acceptable level of inflation in the economy that is being monitored as well as controlled by RBI. Monetary targeting exercise helps RBI to control money demand in India. RBI controls the money demand by this monetary targeting framework, and they depend they take decisions basing on how much is the inflation, how much should be the CRR, SLR, and bank all these bank rates and this. So this was all about economics topics of general studies. And sir and ma'am, if you are watching our video for the first time and have not subscribed our channel, do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Whenever we will upload a video, you will get the notification. And do give me a thumbs up, as I am giving so much of an effort. It will be very moral boosting. Thank you very much.